All right, guys, so we are going to be adding and subtracting polynomials today. So the first thing that we need to do when we have an equation like this, right, is we're essentially trying to just simplify it. We're trying to group things that we can. We're trying to combine our like terms. Keep in mind that when we get our answer, it's not going to be a number. It's still going to be an expression, but it's just going to be shorter. So step one is identifying my like terms. And so if I look at here I have an x squared, so I'm looking for anything else that also has an x squared. So here I have a positive 6x squared. So notice I take the sign in front of it, right? So I have 5x squared plus 6x squared. Okay, and I'm just going to kind of close the parentheses so I know I'm going to be grouping those. Okay, next I have a negative 4x. Okay, so I have a negative 4x. And I'm looking for anything else that has just a regular x. So here I have a negative 9x. So notice I write minus 9x. Okay, and then my last one, I have just a regular negative 8. And then I have a positive 7. So again, the key here is that you're going to take the sign in front of it, right? That sign comes with it. So when you guys are combining these, right? So again, think of the x squared as what we just talked about. So like burgers, right? So 5 burgers and 6 burgers. Well, that's 11. So essentially, I'm just adding these and keeping the variable with the coefficient. So 5x squared and 6x squared gives me 11x squared. And then on this one, I have a negative 4 and a negative 9. So negative 4 minus 9 is negative 13. And I just keep the x. Okay, and if you guys aren't sure, you can put it in the calculator, just don't put the x, right? So just put negative 4 minus 9. And then my last one is my constant, so negative 8 plus 7 is negative 1. Okay, so there you go. That right there is my answer. Okay, it's not going to get simplified anymore, and that's all I have to do. Okay, on the second one, we're going to go ahead and identify our like terms. So I have an x squared here, and I have an x squared here. So I'm going to go ahead and just rewrite it so that they are together, and I'm going to keep that plus in front, so positive 7x squared. Okay, notice this is also positive because there's nothing in front of it. If it helps for you to write it that way, that's fine. And then I have a negative 9x, and I have a negative x. So here, if there's no number in front of it, there is a 1. So I'm going to write negative 9x and minus 1x. And then that positive 2, so I don't have anybody else to combine it with, right? No other constant, so I'm just going to write a plus 2 here, but I know it's just going to stay, again, nobody else to combine with, right? Okay, so now I go and I simplify. So I have a positive 14 and a positive 7. That gives me a positive 21, and I just keep my x squared. Here I have a negative 9 and a negative 1, so that combines to negative 10, and then I just keep the x. And then again, my constant doesn't have anybody else to combine with, so it's plus 2. And then that's going to be my final answer.